saying that they showed with the rising income, the achievement gap closes. So what they're saying is poverty is one of the greatest indicators of a student's performance, and having resources. And if we look at the University of Chicago Consortium, they did a research project, and they have charter schools, and even while they have charter schools, they're doing, and what they're saying is that the schools, charter schools, do not outperform public schools. And we look at contract schools, because I wanted to talk about that, what's happening with Gresham School and the AUSL turnover. And a lot of people don't realize this, but AUSL has 29 schools and 19 are on probation. And many of those schools that closed, they closed and their scores are actually lower than some of the schools that they closed. For instance, in Williams in 2001, 2002, the school was about 35%, and back then that was not that far off the mark. So the school closed, and they placed the children in National Teachers Academy, which was supposed to be a training ground in how to teach black children, inner city children.
They use the term underprivileged.
Yeah, underprivileged, but that was a complete failure. And for 4 or 5 years, if you track the scores at NTA as opposed to what it was at Williams, for 4 or 5 years, the scores were 14%, which is more than half. And no one said a word. So our children went from a building where they were almost 35, almost 40% achievement, into a brand new building where they languished for 4 or 5 years at 14%. And nothing was said and nothing was done about that.
Well, this is all about money. Everything is about commerce, money.
Exactly.
And charter schools are about money.
And this is why this article says it's all about dollars and cents. And so what I'm here to do is ask our community to really have a paradigm shift. We have got to really begin to study these things, find out the real story, not just what's on the media, not the media spin, but if you take a little bit of time to do research, and then again, if you believe in our people and in our culture and in our history, and you have that belief system that is embedded, I knew when I was at Williams, you will know that it's a lie. Because if you're looking at your children and you know your children are learning and you've been satisfied with these teachers, we had success stories, so many kids achieving there. And the parents, and this is what I ask the parents to do, to support the teachers in your building when you know that they are doing the work, when you know that your children are succeeding. If your children are succeeding under these teachers, we need to do what other communities do. We need to rally around them. We need to support our teachers, and we need to see ourselves collectively as an entire group. Because this is a strategy, and I know you know this very well, divide and conquer. So you have principals, and they're told one thing, and teachers are told, this is what they're doing right now. And it's very annoying when you go to the board meetings and you see how they disenfranchise our community, how they divide our community.
Well, I've been to many board meetings, and I have a perception of the board meetings.
Yes.
Because people don't really deal with anything. They give them maybe 5 minutes or less to say what they're going to say, and they sit down and shut up.
Exactly.
And that's not having input that you should have.
No, it really is not having input. It's not being fair to the community either. The last board meeting I attended, where they had the Gresham parents, beautiful parents, grandparents, and they staged a sit-in last night, or was it last night or the night before?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. They staged a sit-in. And these parents love their school and they love their community and they're trying to fight for it. And then I watched as the Board of Education brought in young black parents who sat there and they were AUSL supporters and they were saying all these things about how wonderful it was. And it made me very sad because I saw how they were polarizing our community and actually pitting us against each other and really making us fight for crumbs. And I asked the young parents out there to really wake up, because I looked at one of the parents and I said, you are really a wonderful parent to be out here, and you remind me so much of myself and my parent and my mother. And I said, they wanted something for us. That's why we went to school. They fought for us to get quality education. And now look at what has happened. They have taken everything back from us.
Well, I can go all the way back to the Willis wagons.
Yes.
All right, and I can even go, I was a product of Crane High School on the west side. And it couldn't have been that bad of a school, because Nelville Moore, who was the chancellor for the city colleges, Leroy Martin, who was the superintendent of police,
Wow.
myself, there was with one of the largest public relations firms in the city of Chicago. All right, there was another student from Crane, Dr. Stephen Parker at Chicago State, all products of Crane, when they said that Crane was a terrible school. All right, one of the worst schools in the system. We got about 2 minutes left. Tell me something that you want the people who are watching to remember.
Well, one of the things I would like for them to do, we have a petition going around, and it's on change.org, and we're trying to get 10,000 signatures to go to the U.S. Department of Justice. I wanted to say that we meet at Operation Push at every first and third Tuesday of the week, of the month, at 6 o'clock for those teachers.
How about asking for 25,000 signatures?
A 25 would be great. Our target right now is 10, but of course if we could get 25, that would even be more. We also need pro se attorneys, if anyone is out there, because I just want to say that we have over, in the last 5 or 6 years, over 6,000 African American teachers terminated. And many of these people have lost their homes, their cars, many have had to bring home children, and we're just really trying to get the U.S. Department of Justice to stop this. I would like to add that not only are teachers being terminated during their turnarounds, over 80% of the teachers E3 or told that they're unsatisfactory after, of course, working 25 years.
What does E3 mean?
They're unsatisfactory after working 25 years and with superior and excellent ratings. Now, in 1 year, they're unsatisfactory. And 80% of the teachers brought up on unsubstantiated charges are African Americans. So it's across the board. I would like to say that 76% of the students expelled are African Americans. So it isn't just about teachers.
It's about students also.
It's about the entire community.
Well, we've run out of time. So that's going to be the end for now.
Right, that was very quick. But thank you very much.
Okay.
All right.